Hi, this is Sonia, and this is a video about how I've incorporated bullet journaling and life mapping into my to-do list / planner at work. I have seen a lot of people doing those lately, and it's really working for me, and I have been talking to some women on Facebook about it, and they asked for an example of how I'm doing it. Unfortunately, I can't bring my planner home from work, so I just did kind of a quick mock-up of how I'm using it at work so that I could show them how to do it because they wanted some pictures. So just thought that I would walk through it. I have been kind of doing a listing, kind of like bullet journaling, for quite some time now. At work I have, this is my Filofax Flex that I use at home, and at work I have like a faux Filofax Flex because I wasn't sure about buying two Filofax Flexes, and it's worked for me, so I've just been sticking with it. And then I just have a lined notebook that I write my to-dos. I keep all of my like daily schedules and contacts and stuff in my Outlook email, so it's really just about my to-do list and then taking notes in meetings. And what I had been doing was just writing the date and basically just bulleted list of things that I needed to do. And that worked out fine, except when I would go to meetings and take notes, which doesn't happen a lot, but it happens every once in a while. And then I would need to try to find those notes again, so I ended up with a bunch of Post-its and flags down the side. Some of them had paper clips or the magnetic bookmarks, and it was just getting really cluttered, trying to just keep the meeting notes and know where they were in my book. So I guess about 2 months ago, when the bullet journal video came out, and I'll put the link down below, it popped up in my YouTube feed, and I saw it and I thought, you know, that would really give some structure to my to-do list at work and give me a little bit of planning when I'm not sitting at my computer, so I kind of know what's going on. I have been carrying around the year-on one-page A5 size planner tucked into the side of my to-do list, but it didn't really work out. It didn't slide in and out very well, so I was constantly fighting with it, so that didn't work out for me. So I thought the structure of bullet journaling will work really well for me, and it did. I use kind of a modified version. I'll show you the mock-up. So what I do is I use the boxes to note things that I need to do. And then I know in normal bullet journaling you color it in to indicate that you've completed it, but to me that's not satisfying. And I also I'm looking for cross-outs to know what I've already done. So even though there's a checkbox, I cross it out when it has been done. And if something is canceled or I'm not doing it anymore or whatever, then I kind of squiggle line it out. And then if I don't do it, it's just left plain. And I usually just do one day, but if, you know, I'm lazy or something and I don't get stuff done, instead of rewriting a whole list, I'll just tack on however many days it takes to get it done, but usually it's just one day for a list, and then I start a new list. And I don't really move stuff over, like for example here, emails didn't get done on that day. I didn't move them over, just because as long as I'm, you know, within eyesight, I'll still go back and do it and just cross it off like normal. If it gets down to like over here is November 4th, then, you know, I might rewrite it, but generally I keep on top of it within a couple days of writing it down. So that was how I did bullet journaling. I just started where I was in that notebook, so I didn't throw it away, get a new one. I didn't, the next day I went into work and I wrote an index. So wherever I was, I wrote the monthly pages, where you just write 1 through however many days of the week, and then the tasks for that month. So this allows for some forward planning. So I did the next couple months, I think I did through like January in my notebook at work. And then, like I said, I use Outlook, so I don't keep track of meetings and I don't have a lot of meetings, so I just put like big at a glance things. So a conference call that's, you know, super important, a meeting that I need to dress up for, a conference that spans a couple days, holidays, days off, things like that. And then some tasks that need to get done once I get to that month. So I did that, and I made my index, and then numbered all the pages. So so I numbered all the pages at the bottom. That way I could say, okay, so October takes up page 19 through 20, and then also skip ahead. It's going to take page 23 through however many pages it took for the October to do. Then I would go back and write, you know, October 19 through 20, and then I just wrote 11 through 13, for example, but, you know, however many days it took. And then for any time I have meeting notes, I just wrote a couple categories, and I can make that as long as I want it to be, and then just write down the page numbers where you've got information or notes or to-do lists for whatever that topic is. So then if I need to do something with client 2, I know that on page 15 and 16, so here's 15, 16, I've got notes from that client meeting or whatever. So that is how the bullet journaling works. It's not super forward planning. It just depends on how many months you want to write out, and you can really start it to wherever you are in your notebook. And then, you know, if I decide that I need December, then I would just write December and whatever page. If it ends up being like page 40 through 41, that's fine, no problem. You've just got it there. So that was working really well for me. It gave structure to my to-do list. It gave me a way to index where I had random meeting notes or class notes or anything like that, and then keep track of them. But the problem that I had was all the meeting notes from before. I thought about just starting at the beginning of the book and numbering, but I ended up just starting wherever I started the bullet journal and numbering forward that way before I thought about it. So I didn't have numbers for the front. So the plan was that I was just going to copy everything from the meeting notes before the bullet journal started onto after the bullet journal, and then index those pages appropriately. But I was lazy and I never got around to it, so I still had, you know, this front part of the notebook with paper clips and flags and post-its to mark meeting notes. But then I saw a video by Carrie, Harling, I think, and like I said, I'll link it below. Dispatches from the Frat House, I think is her blog. And I have been looking, she used the LifeMapping from DIYfish. And DIYfish had been on my blog reader for quite some time, but I had never gotten around to fully understanding how it worked. It seemed like a lot of grids and colors, and I just never took the time to understand it. But Carrie made it really simple to understand, and I thought, well, the printouts from DIYfish and the graph paper, I like it a lot and I like to look at it, but I didn't want to buy a whole notebook and start over. But I realized that I could incorporate that into what I already had and just go from there. So the next day I went and took in my markers and created a life map to color code my pages. So I pretty much wrote down everything that was on my index onto a page that I ripped out of my planner. It's important that you rip out something the exact same size as whatever you're using, so just take a page out of it. So I wrote down all the categories that I had on my index, plus a couple more, so like the monthly pages, and then daily to-dos, and then pretty much everything I have on my index and a few others. And I just wrote, or I just colored in squares. Like I said, I'm using lined paper, not graph paper, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can make these however big or small you want them to be. I just ended up using every other line, and that worked out perfect. So then I went through and I color-coded all the pages. So, for example, here on September, it's a monthly one, so it would need to be color-coded for the month. So I just line it up at the bottom of the page and then put this page over it and kind of push it in a little bit. And then I just kind of draw in my own square there that matches up with that one and color it in. And it's, you know, not science, it's not graph paper, it's just, you know, close enough. And then when I need to find monthly pages, you just kind of fan the pages a little bit and all your monthly pages pop out because they're in purple. Or for example, if I had here, I have information about topic 1 and then a little mini bullet journal from the meeting, with bullets now being notes and then checkboxes being to-dos. So here on this page I have some daily to-dos. So it got a pink one from the Life Map, daily to-do, and then also there's information about topic 1. So I add the color code from topic 1. So all you do is you just line it up. As many things as you have on both pages, you put the color code for it. So like I said, this one's got daily to do, so it's got a pink box at the same height as the pink box on my index sheet, and then the green square for topic 1. And then, like I showed before, you need to see something about class notes. So that's a little blue square, class notes, pops right out at you. You just have to get a little good at fanning the pages, and it pops out. And so this really works with going back and color coding the pages. So between the index, which gives the page numbers for where something is located, or just visually fanning the pages and finding the color. I find that recently I've been fanning the pages to find the color a lot more than I have been referring back to the index to find the page number, but I'll probably keep doing both just because, you know, you might not fan correctly and miss a page or whatever, and you'll have it in the index. But so far I've found stuff a lot faster than I had with the paper clips, because I was flipping through each of the paper clips trying to remember which one noted which meeting. And so yeah, it's been working out really well and I like it a lot. Another thing that I saw, before I get to that, I do put post-it notes in there for things that I'm pretty sure are going to not be completed within a time frame that would probably end up on the 2 pages. So, you know, I usually use the same amount of lines per day. Some days get real long and some days are real short. But if I know that something is not going to get done before the page ends, I'll end up putting it on a post-it. And then that way I can just move it to the next page without having to rewrite everything. I also do the same thing for, similar to the Getting Things Done system. If it's something that a bunch of things have to be done when I'm in a certain place or with a certain person, then I'll write it on a post-it note. That way they're all kind of clumped together and can be moved until I'm in that place or with that person. And then it just gets left there and I move on. So that's been working well for me as well. This morning I watched a video from, she's a new blogger or YouTube blogger, and her name is Mason Jars and Sweet Tea, and she showed how she is doing her bullet journal actually within the area of her planner for the day, versus in just a lined notebook, like a lot of people are doing it. And I thought that was really smart because, I mean, I use just kind of the old system I have been using, just bullets for things that I need to do. But then on days where I'm kind of keeping track of what we did from the scrapbook as well as to-do lists, they both have bullets, they both look the same and kind of get lost. So I think I might incorporate some of the bullet journal into my planner pages just to kind of separate things. So here I have my mock-up bullet journal in a moleskin volant, and in my Filofax Flex with my moleskin weekly notebook. And I think this will work out really well for the bullet journaling and life mapping as well, because on one side you've got the week on one page that you could use as a planner for keeping track of appointments, and then the whole other side is just lined, so you could bullet journal down the side and life map on the edges if you needed to, depending, and go from there. So that is how I have incorporated bullet journaling and life mapping. I hope that that visual gives you a better idea. And then this loose leaf, I just kind of keep in the back and pull it out when I need it, which is usually when I get to the end of the page. So let me know if you have any questions. If this isn't clear, I'll try to clear them up. Thanks for watching.